Greetings and salutations! This is Jason Silverain, and today I'll be looking at Fission Superstar X. Now this is developed by Turbo Pelvis 3000, and if it looks somewhat familiar in its art design, that's because they've got the artist from Death Skid Marks involved, and thus the art style for this game looks fantastic. The characters are brilliant, it's quite gritty and old school. I really do enjoy it. And if you see that scrolling text at the back, that's the storyline going on. Essentially we're playing a minion of this mad scientist, Sir Leopold, and he's essentially made the most powerful nuclear bomb ever, but it's whispered to him that he wants to be a superstar, so instead of just launching it like any normal mad scientist would do, he intends to tour it through the galaxy. But yes, this will be released January 2019 for $14.99, and also will have a release on Xbox One. So this is a pretty much early beta, which I was sent for free, so disclaimer there. And I've enjoyed it so far. Now, it did say for the minimum specs you need Windows 8, though it recommended Windows 10. I am now running it on Windows 7, and I'm not having any problems so far, so I won't worry too much about that. I love this options screen. I just love the backgrounds and all the character it has. So, not a huge amount of options. I believe it has controller support. I've not tried it yet. I've been mostly using mouse. I've seen someone else in the forum say they've managed to get it working with a controller, but I don't know if that's if they've used their own software or not. I'll have to look into that and mention something in the comments at some point. But getting into the game itself, nice, another bit of story. You can skip through this very quickly each time you start a new game. It comes up every time, but you know, it's just a quick click and you go on to the next one. Now, this is where you spend your DNA points for your pilots. Now, I recommend sticking it straight into skill, because that helps level up other characters' skills. Armor just increases your total health. Aim you get every time you shoot something, and it affects the precision. Now, a lot of guns are pretty accurate anyway and have very little scatter, so again, you can sort of skip that. We create our clone. Should have warned for flashing, really. Sorry. So, as I said, very basic plot, quite amusing. You will enjoy it! Oh. And now, the game mostly is a cross between Death Skid Marks and Faster Than Light. You can select where you're going. Oh! I didn't get the option to choose between having a crew member and a better weapon. Maybe I just missed that by accident. Because normally you get the choice if you want which member of the crew you want, or you can have an improved weapon. So yes, this is our ship. Very nice tutorial right at the start. As you can see, pretty simple. Thankfully, ammunition doesn't come up with laser weaponry, which you start off with, so you can build up ammunition over time. So it looks like I've got a science officer. Now your ship normally only has one turret, but for every additional crew member you can activate another turret. Which is very, very handy, because there's some enemies and bosses that you can't kill without certain crew members or certain turrets. Because the enemy in this, they're relatively intelligent. They go for your blind spots, where you can't actually shoot them. See, he's trying to get into my blind spot, but took out the pilot straight away. Now, if I do have a gripe, it's actually very difficult to get money in this game. every time you blow up a ship, it releases like pickups. But because they scatter everywhere, and you know, in all directions, you will hardly get any of it. And it's one of my major gripes with the game. Unlike Death Skid Marks, where you've just got money for blowing up enemies, I think you should get a default amount regardless, and the pickups are just there as a bonus. Get out of my blind spot, you sod. Now, like Death Skid Marks in the top, the ship is split into quarters, and if you lose foot health on any of those quarters, you die. So that was the first level, quite simple. Now you get to do something in between levels. I can improve my crew's armour with my science officer, or I can improve his skills. Now I'm just going to improve skills. It's not very good. Weapon shop, I've got nowhere near enough money to buy a new weapon. Weapons and stuff are so expensive. This is why I would recommend when you do pick this up, always go for the improved initial weapon, because you can get crew right away anyway. So this also lists where you're going next and if there's anything left. So I'm going to go for 1 progress, go to the space station, get the crew, and we've got a fortunate 10% off. Right. I could just replace my pilot right from the start. That's a radical. Okay, another little bit of feedback for the game since it's in beta. I love the fact that you've got all these characters who are referencing things, and they're all quite cool designs. But it would really help if there was like a bio page or something, so every character you've collected essentially goes in that and you get like a very small paragraph, 2 sentences at most, description about them maybe? Because it'll give them a bit more character and might actually make you go out of your way to select people who you haven't picked before. Now he's got a very good skill, his aim's rubbish but I don't particularly care, so let's go for the engineer. You can repair the ship. And your crew only take damage if the turret directly gets shot. So seeing I've now got a rear turret, now I've got an engineer. Oh god. Now, this is actually far more difficult than Death Skid Marks. It may seem easy now, but very soon, these enemies are going to be near impossible to kill, unless you've got weapon upgrades. Or you're very good at hitting their weak spots, which don't always act consistently. Like, I've had several of these little ships, as you've seen, shoot their cockpit, they blow up straight away. Later on, I've blown up the cockpit and they've still kept attacking, or I've like sunk all my fire into the cockpit and it's not doing any extra damage. It doesn't seem to be a weak point. It just was practically invulnerable. So again, I don't know if it's just my aiming or if it's just the improved hit points, but again, this is why the difficulty kind of spikes. I've not gotten real damage so far, so let's upgrade the skills. Ship services. No, I don't have enough to improve my ship, so let's go back to deep space again with a crew. It'll be slightly more expensive. Well, that medic's just terrible, but he does give me a additional pilot. Additional pilot. Sorry, additional turrets, and I just need to heal the pilot there. Oh, every time someone interested in space. I've never actually earned any DNA points. And I have blasted a few pilots out of their ships. Oh god. Yeah, you get a large variety of weapons. There's over 70 different enemy types in the game. You've got 64 different weapons to murder them with. And there's over 100 different crew members, so there's quite a lot of variation. Even if we're just seeing these little ships at the start. That does irk me that they can just fly off the level. Because, as I said, they're constantly manoeuvring to try and get in your blind spots, and that really doesn't help. The fact you're so big and actually relatively slow and clunky makes it very difficult. Though later on you can unlock additional ships, but I imagine the ships will only be unlocked if you complete a run. So far I've managed to get to the first boss. The game is quite difficult and doesn't pull its punches. The first few waves are very simple, but by the time I get to here on the map, if you haven't got improved weapons, it can get very hard. I've never had space cows. The space whale pod. Well, everything else pushes me back into the pursuing police forces. I haven't got enough money for ship services since they need at least 1,000. They're very, very expensive. So let's try space cows. Ooh! I recommend avoiding asteroids because those will just decimate you. Oh god. Get away. Get away. I don't know what this thing is. It's come up a few times. I hope those cows are not hurting me when I ram them. Oh, well, he's dead. Am I getting anything from murdering these cows? I wonder if I get DNA points if I pop them. Oh, God, chainsaw, go away. Shoo, shoo. Oh, yes. I should have mentioned that laser weapons use energy, as you can see at the top left. Oh, something demolished me there. I'm going to take all that damage. I was looking at my energy bar, I didn't realise. I must have got caught by the chainsaw. All those cows did a lot of damage, I'm not entirely certain. See, you will just, even when you've got full health, will just lose health incredibly quickly. Yes, this is the main problem with energy weapons. Your energy bar goes down, it goes down very quickly, and it takes forever to regenerate. If anything, I think it takes too long. Oh. You can also use a shield. Oh, that reminds me, when you get the science of it, you can get a shield which you can manoeuvre around you. I've personally found it almost completely useless because you can't shoot through your own shield. Or actually, I'll tell you when I've got enough energy, I'll experiment again because I've tried this, and in the past I've actually seen my shield block my own bullets. I don't know if it was a bug or if it was special crew shop, ooh, special weapon shop, singularities. Well, I don't know what those do. And I've never been to the bomb outfitters. Because it's all random what comes up. Let's try special weapons. Each of the shops are a little different. So we've got particle gun, which is essentially a machine gun, which is laser based. Or the wave gun, which is very close range and practically useless on anywhere other than the bottom of the ship. So I'm going to get that particle gun, and then you select which slot you want it on. So I'll take it up there. Then plus you can have 4 different weapons across your ship. I should also mention that if your crew dies, you lose the turret. But if the turret is blown up, then you have to buy both a new crew member and a turret. So the singularities aren't so bad, they're more like little gravity wells that fling you about. Oh god, I'm literally not controlling the ship anymore. Yeah, there was a few too many in a row there. You just please die. Thank you. See, that little bike took so many shots from a basic weapon. Oh. I think the singularity killed that one. But as you can see, because I'm destroying these guys from so far away, I am not gaining any of the loot or pickups. Okay, ship's still relatively damaged, but let's heal the crew. Drone carrier. I don't know whether to repair or not because... reactor. Need that. Just to keep my energy high. But yes. The drone ships, occasionally those will have healing flying around. So, I might not need to repair my ship. As you can see, the game is very pretty. while the gameplay is basic, it's quite addictive and a little bit moreish. The AI is clever, frustratingly so. Wait, it may seem... oh god, I should have used my shield there. Stop stealing all the heals! Yeah, I can't shoot through my own shield. And the enemies are not affected by energy usage, so they can just keep firing all day, which is a bit of a pain, in all honesty. I think this is the most useful the shield's ever been. There we go, he took a lot of firing. What? No! Don't hit the front, I need you to hit the back! Ah. Stop shooting. Stop shooting. Oh, that's just aggravating, trying to chase that round. Right. Oh, the rear of my ship's about to explode. Oh. Yeah, there we go. And that's your average playthrough. You think you're doing well, and your health will go down so quickly, it doesn't matter. If it's any gripe I have, it's about that. I find that everything does a bit too much damage, and upgrades cost a little bit too much. As I said, all of this could be improved by having you earn cash a little easier rather than having to collect it after exploding debris. Other than that, I've got no gripes really about the game. There's a few areas it could have minor improvements, but visually it looks great. Gameplay wise, it's very self-explanatory. It's quite good fun. I would like to get some of the later weapons just to experiment a bit more. I've only had about 5 of the 64 weapons, so I need to explore that option a little bit more. The gameplay is also a if it's not broken, don't fix it mechanic, with taking elements from other games and just melding them together really well. There is one particular thing I do want to say, which I want them to remove from the game. There are certain solar systems that make your screen just turn black, and unless you can shoot into the void, and I mean you can see nothing, you can't see your aim reticle, you can't see where you are, you can't see your stats, it's just a black screen. And this seems to be inconsistent what makes it stop being black. Sometimes you shoot and you hit the other ship and the screen gets ever so slightly lighter, so you have to keep shooting the enemy ship. Other times that doesn't work. And I've had like 2 of these zones in a row before, and it just completely killed the game for me. It was very, very aggravating. It was not fun at all to play through. It felt incredibly cheap and broken since it doesn't like negatively affect the AI in any fashion. So yeah, guys, take those out. Those are not fun. They're just frustrating. You can think of better things to come across and, you know, cause problems. I mean, the space cows are a great example of something that's fun and silly. Also, it would be nice to find out if we get some clarification as when you've got the space convoys, if those convoys can actually be destroyed or if they're just indestructible ships that fill up the screen. Because I've experimented with various different weapons and I cannot seem to just even damage them. So I don't know if I'm wasting my time there, but again, it's still in beta, it's a demo. It's a damn good demo, I'll say that. And yeah, watch for it in January 2019. Hopefully there'll be no delays. Thank you for watching, and that's me done today.